Welcome back. Raven and I are still thinking about that Eel Pout Festival. Lots of fun. But a more serious topic coming up. You know, pollution control doesn't just begin with governments. It often begins with individuals who are concerned about water, concerned on behalf of all of us.
If you're looking for a Minnesota pollution detective, a watchdog over water, well, you've come to the right place.
We go down to the Minnesota River, take a sample of the water and check it for clarity, and then register what the numbers are that we come up with.
The Minnesota River is a regular hangout for Dick Duerre, a very, very committed water watcher.
This is a turbidity tube, and there's a symbol at the bottom. This is a Secchi disc, and I first got started 34 years ago taking Secchi disc readings. Last summer we took 93 separate different readings in the Minnesota River and in the water that comes out of Black Dog Lake.
Nobody pays Dick Duerre to monitor the river's health.
This is collecting water.
Ditto for Emma Martin, a Burnsville sophomore who completed an award-winning science project about the river's troubles, and John Crampton, who also volunteers river duty. Their conservation conscience says it's the right thing to do.
A lot of the damage that's being done to the Gulf of Mexico is being done from the water that comes out of the Minnesota River.
I knew the Minnesota River was really dirty. When I was younger, I came here to pick up trash along the river over here, and it was dirty, but I didn't realize how turbid it was. I definitely would not want to swim in this river, even though some people do.
He's collecting water. It's sinking gradually in and collecting water out of the main stream. Now he's pulling it in, and he'll have a sample of the water. About a quart of water is plenty. That looks like a good sample. Now he's pouring it into the tube. Emma stands so she's in her, the tube is in the shadow, it's not in the sunlight.
About 13 centimeters. And 9, 8, 7. It's about 10 centimeters.
Watch for cars.
Acting like clean water detectives, Dick and helpers gather river samples from a variety of locations.
I'll drop this over. This is the west end of Black Dog Lake, and the lake is out behind me, and this water drains out of the lake. Samples mean that the water flowing out of Black Dog Lake is dirtier than the water in the Minnesota River. It's flowing out of the lake into the river.
Dick's clean water efforts have not gone unnoticed. Last summer, Minnesota Waters Organization honored him in a perfect setting, a riverboat on the Mississippi.
Dick Duerre of Bloomington, Minnesota is the first volunteer of the year.
We get incredibly excited when we meet folks like Dick Duerre. We believe that citizens are absolutely essential to successfully taking care of this precious resource. And there are citizens out there that do some absolutely fabulous jobs. They're just wonderful.
Yes, and
that made a 10.
Back on the Minnesota River, the water watchdog also knows his efforts are far from finished. So far, the Minnesota agency in charge of clean water, the PCA, has ignored his water testing data.
To date, they have done nothing with the information, but we're trying to get them to look at the water that's coming out of Black Dog Lake, which is dirtier on average than the water in the Minnesota River.
In Dick Duerre's watery world, there are no polluting villains, and he says the PCA has now promised to study Black Dog Lake.
Who's to blame? The human race is probably to blame. It's all of us. I have kids and I have grandchildren, and I want them to inherit a world that was as nice as the one I grew up in, or better. And I think that we owe it to them and to ourselves to try and stop the degradation and turn it around and improve the whole situation.
By the way, if you'd like to get involved in pollution control work in Minnesota, check out our website, minbound.com, and click on Conservation Minnesota.